continue to make great time. We're heading on up the mountain, but we haven't gone another 100 yards until somewhere down below us on the trail, we hear the whistle. Tweet, tweet, tweet. Bear, 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 bear. I recognize the voices of our two friends. At this point, an important decision to make. How good of friends are these two? I run around the trail. I finally round the last corner. I can hear the struggle behind the trees. And there it was in front of me, a sight that I had never seen before. In fact, I later found out it was a sight that no Glacier National Park ranger had ever seen before. Because there in front of us, right on the trail, was the first Glacier National Park Cocker Spaniel attack. This little dog had jumped both of them, had them on the trail, down on the ground, and was trying to lick them to death. But think about this. A Cocker Spaniel, bear. Two things not usually easily confused. How can you confuse a Cocker Spaniel for a bear? Well, it's pretty simple. You're predisposed to think bear. You've watched a movie. You've been told there's bear out there. And now with your head down, you're shuffling along. All of a sudden, a fur ball's on your legs, and you think bear instead of Cocker Spaniel. Now, while it's a crazy story, it sets up what we'll talk about for our few minutes together this afternoon. Because as FFA members, as teachers, as parents, I want you to quit wrestling Cocker Spaniels and losing and begin wrestling bears and winning. Taking on the biggest challenges in your life and wrestling and winning. Now, the keys to do that are keys that you've heard about before. In fact, in doing our broadcasts and literally doing thousands of interviews across America, I've found that there are some qualities that people who meet success time and time again often possess. They were two qualities that my friends that got jumped by a Cocker Spaniel really didn't have. One of them is vision, a purpose. They had their head down. They could see about 2 steps in front of them. But when we begin to look at the bigger picture, the purpose, we begin to see things more clearly. And secondly, it's our attitude, how we walk up the trail, the speed, the enthusiasm, the motivation we have. And those two qualities, my friends, make a huge, huge difference. What attitude do you bring to the game when times are a bit tough? You see, attitude's important. It can make us happy on the outside. It can show enthusiasm and motivation. But when attitude is combined with one other quality, which is purpose. Purpose, a goal, a direction is what we might call it. When it's combined with that, you're deadly when it comes to wrestling bears. Sometimes in front of groups, I show leadership zones. That's what I call them. Leadership zones, which are 3 circles. And these 3 circles tell us a lot about life and leadership. You have a green zone which is our comfort zone. It's where we feel most at home. All of you in here are probably sitting next to somebody who you know. And that's what I would do. As human beings, we gravitate to what we know and what we most feel comfortable with. It's very important to think about it because if you want your chapter to grow, if you want to make a difference in your community, you have to get people to the green zone first. Help them feel comfortable. Why would people want to be involved in an organization where they didn't feel at home, where they couldn't grow, where people didn't show them respect? The green zone's the foundation. But we have to go a step further because you see, there's a yellow zone. And the yellow zone, when we step into that, helps us grow. It's the area where growth takes place. If I always live in the green, I never grow. And so it's only when I step out into the yellow, I begin to grow. I begin to make things happen. And that's what my sister had done day after day. The red is pain. That's too far. My sister couldn't jump from high school to the WNBA, but it took steps in between. And so the question is, what step will you take? What step into the yellow will you challenge yourself to take at this convention? What are you doing to walk with others? What attitude do you need to change? What purpose do you have? What perspective will you share? Whose life will you touch? As Dr. Rick Rigsby said, who's a friend of mine, I enjoy getting to visit with him, he said, will you see people for the inside? Will you make a difference to all?